books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for a Thursday, May 1st. We're ready for the new month, May Day, here today, and thank you for joining me here on the show after a thrilling night of sports action, to say the least, yesterday with the NBA and NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball as well. We'll preview those today and get ready for our additional coverage here this weekend of mixed martial arts and more here on Derby Week. Here in Las Vegas and everywhere else. We're getting ready for the biggest race of the year. Yeah, we love the Breeders' Cup. We know that's the biggest, most richest series of races, but this is kind of the Super Bowl this week when you talk about still the Kentucky Derby, no matter how you look at it. So get ready for some great action this week. We're underway also in some exciting golf action here today from Texas. And we did have a preview with the guys here this week, previewing the action here from, well, an easy course and a big field. So just depends how you want to go about it at the CJ Cup. They're really just underway with the first 4 or 5 holes. So you could still check out what the guys had this week and still get involved, probably at nearly full prices here that were offered for the CJ Cup. Now the scores are going to go pretty low here this week. You can expect the winner to be 20 under par, I would imagine, here this week with the way they play this course. So yes, you do have a huge, obvious favorite here today with Scotty Scheffler, but man, do you really want to go lower than 3-1 on a 154-man field when the winning score could be as low as 20 under or more? So big field. I sent out my picks as well over at winnable.com. I sent out 8 golfers this week with the big field and maybe high volatility here this week. Take a shot this week, or wait till the first round's over, see where everybody stands. But I think you can expect high volatility. Yeah, maybe our man Scotty goes off and look, when it's an easy course and you're head and shoulders above the field, you could even destroy a big field like this if you're on your game. But with coming off of a major recently, and we're coming up to another big major with the PGA this week. Great tournament, a lot of tradition with Byron Nelson, but could be a long shot, if you know what I mean. So take a shot this week is what I would say at the CJ Cup. All right. Also, tennis action. Hey, if you want to get involved with me in some of the tennis action, I've got some plays up right now over at winnable.com. I've already scored this morning with my selection here today in the Madrid Open. Where are the fans, by the way? We're into the men's quarterfinals and the women's semifinals. Where are the fans in Madrid here this week. Not a huge crowd here for the match going on right now, but earlier we did score with Casper Ruud just moments ago, actually. The match just ended within the last half hour, and we recommended Casper Ruud minus 2.5 over Daniil Medvedev, and he got it done there, winning. We said to lay 2.5 games. He won it by 5 games here, and I still have, if you're interested, picks on the remaining 4 matches here. We're underway right now with Jakub Mensik leading Francisco Cerundolo right now, 3-0 early. In the first set, Mensik off to a flying start here is up $1.25 dog. All right, let's take a look at some of the action from last night, shall we? And lament or celebrate what's going on in the postseason in the NBA and NHL. And I'll start with what has to be the big story and the most frustrating story here with the Minnesota Timberwolves advancing over the Los Angeles Lakers last night. Disgusting is all I would say about it when you're talking about the Lakers and their exit here from the playoffs last night. Yeah, Minnesota blew that lead. Lakers came back. Luka went out. Luka came back in. Lakers still got killed on the boards by Rudy Gobert with maybe the game of his career last night. 27 points, 24 rebounds. Julius Randle looked terrific against his former team with 23 points, really offsetting the Lakers. Luka had back spasms in the game. LeBron bruised his knee. LeBron's just 2-12 in his last 14 playoff games. Could this be it for LeBron James? Probably not, but if anything, this has to be the first time, even with the last couple of years, that you really have to take a step back and wonder, could LeBron announce his retirement before this next season? I don't feel like that's the case. The Lakers have even talked about expressing interest, of course, in Giannis Antetokounmpo. That would definitely keep LeBron around. I don't know how the Lakers will pull it off with their current superstar talent, but with Giannis's exit and what's going on here right now, the Lakers still looking for answers, especially in the inside. Although James and Doncic did combine for 50 points in the game, but Lakers now done for the season, and Minnesota moves on in the NBA playoffs. Let me say hello to some folks here as we get rolling on the show. And we'll talk about the other game as well last night, of course. But Minnesota advances the 6 seed, defeating the 3 seed. Bad Lakers and good Timberwolves. And they will face, of course, the winner of the series between Golden State and Houston after Fred and Amen Thompson combined for 51 points last night. And the Rockets were making their free throws and stayed alive in the series. They'll go back to San Francisco, still down 3-2 in the series. Winner does advance to play the Minnesota Timberwolves here, and we've got action tonight. All right, let's say hello to the folks in the best chat here. The show where the chat is the chat is the show here on the Morning Steam, right? You can look at a lot of shows, and I don't like when you guys get ignored. So you get your picks in here on the Morning Steam show. Cash Kane, he's here first to get us started, and Robert McCormick. Fernando is here early. We got a great action here in on the pitch today, including Brentford and Forest in the EPL. We've got Thursday matchups here today, including Europa League today. Manchester United taking on Bilbao, and Bodo Glimt up facing Tottenham on the road today. And I've got action here tonight as well in CONCACAF Champions League with Tigres taking on Cruz Azul after we saw last night's action in the CONCACAF Champions League. All right, who else is here? Nuke. Hey, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Joe T is here. He's talking about his Timberwolves smacking those Lakers and eliminating them from the playoffs. The Lakers now 1-18 when trailing 3-1 in a postseason series. Good morning here to AOD. You know, he's ready for today's action as well with the Pistons at home against the Knicks in that crucial game number 6 tonight. And Nuke is maybe ready for the Kentucky Derby here this week. We did see 5G get scratched out of the Oaks here. That's a little bit of news. And let's see, Stop Geo is here today as well. Nuke said the Lakers, that was a ridiculous line with the Lakers -6 last night. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, how could they? But still, Team Steam consensus had the Lakers here yesterday. I don't know how they came up with that one, but did seem a little far-fetched. The Lakers were never going to win that game by 6 points. They'd be, like I said, just lucky to get out of there with a win. Derek Bopp is here today. Thank you, Derek. He was on Rude there, maybe. NYC Bar, good morning. Thank you and welcome. Flea Mathis as well. And Nuke talking a little Major League Baseball. I think we had a little bit better day here in baseball. Maybe I figured it out a little bit after a couple of rough days here this week with the action last night in the major leagues. We did have some winners here on the show and elsewhere, including in that doubleheader. We did go with the under in the first game of the doubleheader with Mikolas and Singer. Yeah, I did go with the Reds in game 1, but we did bounce back and said take game 2, take the Cardinals on the show. It was a sweep. Cardinals swept yesterday. The Cardinals hit those 3 home runs in the row in the 9th inning there for game 1, and then Will Contreras with the 3-run home run in game 2 as the Cardinals swept the Reds. We did have other winners here, including the Dodgers on the run line over Miami last night with yesterday in early action, I should say, with Quantrill and Gonsolin. With the win there, LA 21-10 now. Max Muncy home run, Freddie Freeman home run, Mookie Betts a bunch of RBIs, and the Dodgers rocked. And Gonsolin 9 Ks over 6 innings. I had a premium pick winner with Atlanta and Colorado. 2 go under yesterday as Chris Sale struck out 10. Colorado still got the win. 2-1 there, a little bit of an upset certainly there with Colorado avoiding the worst start in baseball history since, I think they said 1901. So that was big news as the Rockies picked up their 5th win. They're 5-25 with that win over Chris Sale and the Braves. Sale did give up the 2 runs there, just 1 run in the second, I think, 1 run in the third. And how about Colorado's young, impressive pitcher, Dolander? Definitely looks the part. Looks like what they've talked about. It's going to be tough. He's in Colorado and can't pitch him every day, but at least they got themselves a good prospect there with Dolander. I had the Padres yesterday over the San Francisco Giants, and Padres getting a little bit healthy here this week as they won their 2nd in a row. Padres now a half a game ahead of the Giants right now. If the playoffs started today, they don't. It'd be the Mets, the Cubs, and the Dodgers in the National League with the Padres, Giants, and Phillies as the wild cards. In the American League, it'd be the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Mariners with the Guardians, Astros, and Red Sox. But we're only 1 month into the season. Maybe we'll check on those teams in another month and see where they stand. Also, we did have the winner here on the show with Minnesota and Cleveland game to go under yesterday as Bo Naylor hit a 3-run home run. Still stayed under there yesterday as the Twins lost to the Guardians in that one. Also, I had the winner on the over in the game between the Yankees and the Orioles yesterday as King of Mount Castle with a 2-run home run for Baltimore, getting them wet in the splash zone as the Yankees lost to Baltimore there again yesterday in Baltimore. Surprises there a little bit this week over the Yankees after people were burying them. They're still buried, I'm sure, but also we had a winner here on the show yesterday with Washington and Philadelphia to go over yesterday. In that one also, we did have over as our premium pick with Boston and Toronto. Nuke mentioned that game with Santander, that 3-run home run for the Blue Jays yesterday. Pretty good. Hey, I want to thank Joe in the chat. He did bring us that winner with the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago White Sox game to go over yesterday. Great call, Joe. Jake Bowers had that 2-run double in that one for the Brew Crew, and I think that was it as far as winners here on the show. Hey, NHL last night. Talk about it here real quick. Let's say hello to a few more folks as we kind of round people up here. We almost got 4 dozen of you in here, so we're just about ready to go here. And let's see. And Nine Legacies here today. He says he told everybody. I told all that Lakers would not be the Timberwolves in that series. He told everybody. Nine Legacy with his proclamation on the Wolves. Here's O Caps. Good morning. Nice to see you today. And Andrew G said he believed the media. He did not want to believe it for himself that the Lakers, he listened to the media and the Lakers were going to win that series. Well, I never had a future on the Lakers myself, and I do have one currently on the Minnesota Timberwolves, but that wasn't before the playoffs still, but nonetheless. Hey, James Parm is here today, and so's Chill Will. All right, NHL last night, how about it with the game between the Montreal Canadiens and Washington Capitals, and we have a winner. Washington will advance to face the Carolina Panthers. We know a second-round series here right now in the NHL with Carolina. Will take on Washington. Washington, of course, the number 1 seed in the Metro, and they will face the Carolina Hurricanes after Montreal was defeated by Washington last night in the NHL with Ovechkin. He got that early goal, and the Caps win the series there 4-1. We did have the under. We had a sweep. We swept the card here on the morning steam with the under in that one. We also had the over in Florida and Tampa Bay. Barkov, Reinhart with the goals. It's looking like Florida might be heating up here as they sweep out Tampa Bay 4-1. They advance, and they'll take on the winner of the Toronto-Ottawa series. We'll talk about that one tonight. And we did have the Winnipeg Jets to win. We took Winnipeg there yesterday on the puck line, and they got it done. Blues only 19 shots in that game. Lowry had a goal, and the Jets win over St. Louis to go up in that series 3-2. Not over yet. All right. And we're just getting started here right now on the morning steam. So let's say hello to a few more and maybe get going with the show. All right. You can get my best plays today over at winnable.com/Ramon. Check me out over at Winnable. This is where you can get those golf plays I talked about. Also, we do have additional coverage this week, including MMA action. I'll have my MMA plays for this week. We've already started our previews of the MMA action here this week with VB MMA picks, and First Strike is out, and we have First Strike ready to go out there here.
Final.
Currently, you can check it out over underneath the videos tab here at the Sports Money Network. Also, check out VB MMA picks as we previewed some of the action for this week. UFC Des Moines here with our main event. Bantamweights take center stage with veterans Corey Sandhagen, the number 4 ranked contender, a big favorite over 5th ranked contender Davison Figueiredo. But maybe the jig is up for Figgy. He's the 5 contender, and he's nearly a $4 dog. Both fighters come in off of underdog losses in their last bout late last year. But Sandhagen, the big favorite in that bantamweight clash, and you can get our preview over with VB MMA Picks. VB MMA Picks is brought to you by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange, not available in the United States. All right. All right. And like I said, I'll have also additional plays today for subscribers in Major League Baseball and such. Probably have some college baseball as well. So, all right, let's get rolling here a little bit on the show now that we've got enough of you in here that we can start. Here we go. And Cerundolo is struggling here right now for sure. He's not going to get it done in this match. Can't even win a game, it feels like right now, but it is 5-2 on gonna need a break or two here, probably focus in on the next set. All right, Philly Eagle Flyer here as well. All right. Okay, let's get going with our previews here today for the card and get ready for your picks here. 6 games in playoff action, and then we'll talk about Major League Baseball, where it's a heavy day card today, 7 games, matinees here on a Thursday, getaway day for plenty of teams here today, and some series also getting underway for the weekend. All right. Here we go right now and get ready for your NBA games here tonight with AOD ready to go here with the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. And, well, the Pistons are favored in this game, and it feels like the momentum has totally shifted in this series. Unfortunately for the Pistons, there's still an underdog to come out ahead here in the overall series, but man, the Pistons here tonight, ready to take on the Knicks, and all of a sudden, what's wrong with the Knicks? It feels like they can't figure it out following that last game where the Pistons kind of finally exploited all that the Knicks were doing wrong here. It does feel like a bit of a coaching mismatch all of a sudden. And, well, if the Pistons can just gather themselves up here and win this one, I think they could be live to possibly spring an upset, not only, well, to their favored tonight, but maybe in the next game it feels like as well. So it does feel like JB Bickerstaff and his crew have figured out what the Knicks are doing wrong at this point. Now, the Knicks still lead 3-2, so let's not just crown the Pistons as a winner just yet. But, man, if they can get this one tonight, I feel like they will be live in a Game 7. And I'm not just saying that because AOD is here. The Pistons won 106-103 on the road for the second straight time. Yes, they've lost the 2 home games here right now. The last 2 anyway. Remember, the Knicks won the opener convincingly, but the Pistons came back, stole that one. The Knicks came back in and took 2 here in Detroit. And it's been a bizarre series in that fashion, but the Pistons are going to need to finally win one at home. And, you know, still, the Knicks have the personnel that they, should still be able to win, kind of. I say it like that, even though the Pistons are favored. They have the better talent, it feels like, overall. But all of a sudden, Brunson looks injured, and he's being asked to carry so much of the load. They can't seem to get Karl Anthony Towns in the right position. He should be able to dominate this team inside a little bit. It's not happening necessarily right now. It feels like the Knicks uh, are being stymied here a little bit by the Pistons. So let's see how you're going to play it, though, in this one between the Knicks and the Pistons here tonight. I'll let you guys make the call here. I think we could be split in the chat. I'll be interested to see if you guys going to extend this series to a seventh game, or are the Knicks, they're, better talent, will it prevail? Again, I think, Brunson looks sluggish out there. He's definitely not healthy. He's not 100%, that's for sure. Will Isaiah Stewart return for this game here for Detroit tonight? And will the roadways for the New York Knicks continue here in this one? Let's go to the chat a little bit and see the show where the chat is the show here on the morning steam. Detroit struggling at home a little bit, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. They've still, lost 5 of their last 7, no matter how you look at it. New York, 12-6 in their last 18 games against the spread. But let's see how you guys have it. I'm ready to go in the chat a little. No, not much from you guys. Okay, I'll have to I know it's getting tough. Here's Knicks on the money line for NYC Bar. Andrew says the Pistons play crazy defense. Nuke is on the Pistons here on the money line tonight. Robert liking the over here in this one. And let's see here. Pistons money line and over. Says also maybe it'll go OT here today. 3 of the 5 games so far have gone under in the series. Here is James Parm. He likes Detroit, so it does feel like a little bit of lean to Detroit from the chat, but not very heavy here. Maybe I talked up the wrong chat. All right, I'll get ready to make my call. You guys apparently are Dunsky here in this one between the Knicks and the Pistons. So just for me, that's kind of the way it feels like to me that the Knicks are probably not. This is about, if they do win, I don't know. Maybe it's a okay matchup after all. It just doesn't feel like it right now with Brunson hobbling along there, and they're kind of forcing him to, pick up the load, if you will. We know he's going to be the leader and whatnot, but just feels like they're almost asking too much here of Brunson right now to carry this team and all of his numbers. And Towns is not. They're not getting the ball to him in the right spots, is what it feels like. Now, Cunningham also, as great as he has been in this series and for this team, really, you have to look to some of the other Pistons, it feels like, to kind of get them on track here in this one, especially in the front court with Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, if he has a strong game, I think he is the key here tonight for the Pistons. Yes, Jalen Duren as well. As you look to that front court a little bit, to me, for the Pistons to make the difference here. Okay, I think that's it from you guys. Nothing else here in the chat. So I'm actually going to the total here for at least my play on the show, and I've got the under here with the Knicks and Detroit tonight. All right, I guess that's it for that one. Let's move on. You guys not into it here, it looks like. Maybe this one will pique your interest. Maybe I only have my regulars here making some picks. Everyone, you're welcome to make your pick here on the show. Have your pick seen by a couple hundred viewers every day if you're into it. I'm into showing your picks on the screen. Let's go to the Nuggets and the Clippers here right now in game number 6 all of a sudden. And now the Clippers are favored in this one by 7 points, and the total 212.5. Wow. I guess we're ready to bury the Nuggets as well and the Clippers and all that chemistry that they have. Look, I'm a, Clippers fan, and yes, maybe they are my number one team still in my heart. I don't know, uh, especially with the Lakers gone right now, but still, not sure. -7 here in this one for the Clippers against the Nuggets. The Nuggets haven't really lost to the Clippers by 7 point. They did lose one game by more than 7 points in the last 10 meetings that the two teams have played, but there are not a tremendous amount of statistics that'll show that the Nuggets rarely lose by margins like this. 7 points, even if they're you know up here 3-2 and the Clippers have their backs to the wall, if you will. Still, the Nuggets lead in this series. Remember, they're trying to close it out. They're the number 4 seed. Could the series go to a seventh game? Well, obviously it's supposed to here with this line, but again, the Clippers have defeated the Nuggets just one time in the last 10 meetings by more than 7 points. And this series is obviously a road dominated series, not only in this playoffs, but 7 of the last 8 meetings has been a cover for the road team. And Denver has lost to the Clippers. Uh, talk about that 7 point margin in just 6 of their last 32 meetings. Now, that's a pretty big sample size going back several years, but this Denver team is had Joker here for a little bit. Yeah, maybe this Clippers team is supposed to be better than these other ones. I think they've proven that this year a little bit, but just seems like once Zubats leaves the floor, that's when Denver comes back, and you can't play him 48 minutes out there. So Kawhi and Harden, they haven't really. I'm always talking up Kawhi. I say he's been um, less than expected or less than needed here. And maybe the same is true for James Harden as well. Maybe they're looking to resign early once again and get started with vacation. Let's go to the chat. Can the Clippers extend? Can they cover? First of all, here's 7 points against Denver. Yeah, we're seeing a few teams uh, get blown out, especially in some of these late games where maybe the home team is expected to win. Denver still has a championship pedigree, obviously, here. And like I said, it's still going to be a decent matchup for Jokic against Zubats, but it's what Zubats does out there to neutralize a little bit. Like I said, once Zubats leaves that floor, that's when Joker goes off, and then the Denver comes back. It just kept seeing like the Clippers and the games they've won, even in those in the closer games. Remember, there has been one blowout in this series for each team, for sure. It was 117 to 83. Remember, the Clippers blew out the Nugs in game 3, and also last game 131-115. The Nuggets got that blowout win at home. All right, I'm ready to see what you have. Of course, here for the last 5 games between these two teams have gone under. Coming into this one, Denver's won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two. Clippers have still won 10 of 13. Coming into this one, Clippers were pretty terrific, of course, at home against the spread this season. One of the best home teams against the spread overall this year. All right, let's go to the chat here right now. And again, not much from you guys here. I know it's been a tough postseason figuring these out, I guess. Got over 60 of you in here right now and just a few commenting. All right, here we go. Pardon me just a moment here. Okay. Here comes some of the plays from the chat right now with Cash Kane will start us off. He's got Denver to cover this spread. Cap says he'll take it. I think he's saying take it down here, lay the Clippers minus 3.5 in that one. That's where he, I think, feels most comfortable here, at least if the Clippers are going to get this win anyway, and maybe win it by 4 points. I know laying 3.5 with the Clippers is still going to be close to. I don't think it's quite a $2 charge, but it's certainly going to be close to $2. Also, Cash Kane says maybe Clippers to win by between 1 and 10 points. How about that? NYC bars with the Clippers tonight. And let's see. Nuke says LA is going to lose 3 teams in 2 days here in Tinseltown. James Parham is on the Clippers. And Nine Legacy says Kawhi has been solid so far, Ramon. He and Harden will step up tonight in the Clippers cover. All right, I'll go with that Nine Legacy. I don't think Kawhi has been what they need to step up. I think that's what I'll say. Then I'll reassess. Look, I'm the biggest Kawhi fan. I think everyone knows out of all of us, right? Aren't I? And I've actually been disappointed. Here is Robert on the under in this game, and that's it from you guys. So just not a lot of certainty from the chat here. I don't know if we've got any kind of consensus here from the chat. James Parham says he's got Kawhi over 25 points in tonight's game. All right. I do expect Russ to cook. And I'm going to go with the over here in this one between the Nuggets and the Clippers. Over is my play tonight. The line is down to 6.5, by the way. Probably not going to update it here on screen. I'll just leave it like that, but still a little bit of a move maybe here to the Nuggets. And that's it for the NBA playoffs tonight. Man. All right. Well, I hope you guys watch the games at least if you're not going to bet on them. All right, and again, we got the chat all stars. Maybe we don't maybe only have a handful of all stars here today, but everyone's welcome to chat. Hello to Textiles. Thank you being here today, Tex. Let's go to the NHL. Maybe I'll get some more input from you guys there tonight. And we got 4 games. That's pretty cool because we're running out of teams, but we've got 4 games tonight, which is great because we only have one series, like I said, already determined. And, we could have another series determined tonight, except for the fact that the Ottawa Senators are at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They do trail 3-2, but, oh boy, the pressure is on Toronto big time here right now. It feels like it's slip sliding away. Now, Toronto has 2 chances to win 1 game. That's all they got to do in order to advance and get to the next round. They're taking on a wild card team, but remember, Ottawa won all 3 regular season meetings. Yes, Toronto has won 3 of these 5 games, no doubt about it. But now Ottawa is at home here. They've won 2 straight all of a sudden in this series to get things fairly close to even. They're favored here by $1. Well, they're not minus 1,000 like it says on the screen there, but they are up to possibly $1.25 here at some spots right now. Maybe I can get away with calling it $1.20, but it appears a move right now. I almost want to say right now a little bit. If you look at the movement of the line, it's definitely going up here a little bit over the last couple of minutes with the Senators. We're seeing a little bit over $2 price tag here, and the total has gone moving to the under as well, maybe 5.5 under 20, even 5.5 under 25 here at some spots right now. And here come the chat now. We're in the hockey game. In this one. So let's see how you want to play this one with the Leafs. on the road here, taking on Ottawa with Stolars in there and Lena Solmark doing a job here of late. Can he keep it up a little bit? We saw the 4-0 shutout last game, and of course, Ottawa won that previous game. Thrilling game, remember? 4-3 overtime. Could it be more overtime today here, possibly? All right, let's get ready to go to the chat in this one for Toronto. They've lost 7 out of the last 10 games against Ottawa overall, but Toronto's looking good on the road somewhat. Remember, they lost at home 4-0 and have to go on the road and take on in this game. So I want to go to the chat. Cash Kane is going with the under in this one. Jermaine as the Senators on the money line. And I think Nuke's talking about the pressure that Toronto is under here. But Nine Legacy says Maple Leafs will close it out, but if they don't, he expects Ottawa to get the road win next time. Cash Kane's going to lean to the Leafs here. And you guys are having all those worries there, but here's NYC VAR on the Leafs. Robert's going to go on Ottawa here. Jerry's on the basketball game still there, but we want to get Jerry's pick in there. As I was asking about the basketball picks. Go here. Go. Nice to have Go here. He says, take the Leafs, take Matthews for a goal here. Thank you, Go. Thank you for stepping up in the chat today. Really appreciate that. Nice to have Go 2310. And Nuke says Ottawa to force game 7. He'll be interested to see how the media spins this one. He's on Ottawa on the money line. Jerry says, I'm not behind. I'm just putting my pick in because you were, asking for plays. Thanks, Jerry. Yep. All right. I guess I'll make my call here. In this one, I'm going with the over in this one with Toronto and Ottawa here tonight. I'm taking the over in game 6. I think for me, look, we've definitely seen some overs here, it feels like right now, especially with Ottawa at home. Yes, the previous 2 did go under here, 3-2 and 4-0, but still, Ottawa at home, 5 of the last 7 have gone over. And Ottawa had still gone over. Remember, they were going over towards the end of the regular season. Yes, we're going to get some unders in the playoffs, but right now with the pressure on, I've got to take over 5.5 here at even money or better right now. In fact, I'm starting to see it shaded to the over here, so maybe that is actually could it be the sharp side that I could be on? I'm going to call it 5.5. I guess I could call it 5.5. Flat, but it does seem like some books are starting to lean to the over here a little bit. I'm going over tonight with Toronto and Ottawa. All right, keep it moving here right now, and we're going to go to another tight one here with the Vegas Golden Knights on the road here, taking on the Minnesota Wild. The Vegas Golden Knights are the team that can close it out here tonight against the Wild. How about that? In this one, could the Knights be closing it out here on the road as a favorite? $1.60. It doesn't feel right. I mean, the Knights haven't been they haven't been that good. They haven't been what we've kind of seen or expected from the Knights, but easy for me to say they're winning the series. They're in position here. They've won 2 straight now, so you got to give them credit for that. They won, of course, here in Minnesota 4-3, and then went back home and won 3-2. But look, been a relatively close series for the most part when Vegas has been. Remember, they got blown out twice by Minnesota already with those slow starts, but they've found a way. They've regrouped certainly here, but oh man, they got to be a big favorite on the road in a game that Minnesota must win here to stay alive. Look, I'm running pretty heavy on Vegas here in this postseason, but I am a little worried about the way things have been going here so far. Let's go to the chat and see what you think here in this one with Aiden Hill. You got Hill in there. You got Gus. Let's see how you guys feel about this one. Vegas is still won 8 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams coming in. Minnesota just 1-6 at home against Vegas in the last 7 meetings between the two teams. It's been an issue for sure at home for Minnesota when playing Vegas. They obviously had that big 5-2 win and came back and lost the next one. So, all right. Let's go to the chat here. And here we go. I'm ready to look. Here's Cash Kane on the wild, on the puck line, he says here a little bit. That's okay. No doubt. Wild at home, desperate for the win. They need the win. It's just a pretty big price right now on the Minnesota Wild on that puck line. But hey, can only play so many different plays here. They're minus $1.90 or so. Maybe that isn't that bad, actually. Let's see here. Cash King says, if the Golden Knights close them out, they won't have fun doing it. Wild on the puck line here for Andrew G as well. And here's Philly Eagle Flyer. He says Vegas first period, both teams to score in the first period and go over 1.5. 9 Legacy says Minnesota will tie it up. NYC Bar says Minnesota here. Andrew G says, he says the Wild, they're a consensus here. Most people are. Did anybody, let's see, who did take Vegas? Nobody took Vegas here. All right. And even Nuke says this game's tough. All right. Philly Eagle Flyer says he's got the first period and full game draw. And Robert is on the under here in this one with Vegas and the Minnesota Wild here.
Steam playing.
All right. I guess that's it. From the chat in this one, I got to go. Well, man, consensus is on Minnesota here. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to let you guys take the. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just going to move to the total here a little bit to have 2 play. I can't believe I'm on the different opposite side of Robert here in every game so far. It feels like on these totals where we're always. But I'm going to go over tonight with BGK and Minnesota. I think from what we've seen so far in this series with every game. Maybe it will be tighter here now in game number 6. I get that. The last game went under. The first 4 went over, right? And then the last one stayed under. I'm going to take this one to go over here with Vegas and Minnesota. All right, another one here right now with the Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche tonight in Denver here with the Avalanche. $1.85 right now. We've got Iga and Coco taking the court. Maybe I was a little hard on the fans. I mean, here we are now in our featured match, and it's a better crowd here. I guess nobody wanted to watch that men's quarterfinal, but they're getting ready to take the court here right now. Swiatek and Goff. And hey, if you want to check out my play in this match right before it goes off, head on over to winnable.com right now, and I've got that play locked and loaded under my free picks over there today. And you can get my play over there by going to winnable.com/Ramon. It's free. Subscribe to my free plays. Get the winner between Iga and golf coming up. All right. Good thing I didn't, I've been backing off the Asian baseball here in Japan and South Korea. Good thing. I know there was some rainouts here today, but I didn't do too well last night. No wonder I can't get a package together for free plays or anything in my Asian baseball here right now. All right. Dallas and Colorado tonight with Ottinger and Blackwood. Avalanche $1.85 or so total. 6 over feels like it's going up a little bit. 6 over 20, 6 over 25 right now in game number 6 here with Dallas. A chance to close out Colorado here. Look, Dallas is the number 2 seed after all, so you got to give them credit, right? They are the team that is on holding serve here. Now, granted, Colorado at home, pretty big favorite, but man, it doesn't feel like Colorado is I don't know if they're looking that good here all of a sudden. And this is going to be a tough game just to win, period. It feels like here tonight. Now, Dallas is minus $1.55 on the puck line here. And maybe I'll take the insurance because Colorado is desperate for this win. And look, they've still have had modest success, certainly, against the Stars, but still, nonetheless, it does feel like they haven't quite looked what we were expecting here necessarily. Let's go to the chat, maybe in this one, and see what you have tonight with Dallas and Colorado in game number 6. Colorado needing a win to stay alive, down 3 games to 2. Here, I'm pretty heavy on Colorado here for the confidence pool there across the street, but Dallas is looking pretty sharp right now. 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but of late, it feels like mostly unders. You look at what the series has done so far. Yeah, it's been a little bit split. Maybe it's a 3-2 for the unders so far. Last game, obviously, an over 6-2 victory there for the Stars at home. But before that, it was 2 straight unders, the games that were played here in Colorado. 2-1 Dallas won game number 3, and they also won game number, Colorado, of course, won game number 4, 4-0. So Colorado's actually gone under right now at home in 7 straight games coming in. And 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Colorado have gone under. Let's go to the chat here right now. Dallas and Colorado. All right, here we go with Cash Kane says the Avalanche on the money lines, his favorite play of the day. Have a round on Kane with the Avs. NYC bars on the under. I'll agree right there with NYC bar and give me the under in tonight's game between Dallas and Colorado. Here, Nuke says Dallas to close it out tonight. Philly Eagle Flyer says take the Avs and a draw. The Avs to score first. The Avs in the third period. Team total over. But he's an Avs fan. He says, Philly Eagle Flyer is an Avs fan. Might have to change the Philly Eagle Avs. All right, that's it from you guys on that one. So let's go to one more here tonight. In the postseason, could we get another finished series here tonight with the Edmonton Oilers taking on my LA Kings? Oh, just can't get past this Oilers team right now, and the fact that the Kings lost a game at home to the Oilers pretty much shifted this entire series, it feels like, in Edmonton's favor, and maybe the Kings are done here. Look, I'm pretty heavy on Edmonton anyways in the old confidence pool, so maybe I did see it coming here. The first future that I placed, I was one of those guys. If you remember, last year, I say last year, let me see when I placed this. I think I I have a future on the Edmonton Oilers, and I was one of those guys that I think I placed this one last year after the season, right after the season was over last year, on Edmonton. There was a rash of people that ended up taking Edmonton in a futures play, and everyone was like, "Oh, they'll win it next year now." And I was one of those guys. I don't know if I got the best price now, but let me see what it is here. Uh, Edmonton 6.5 to 1. I placed it on. Oh gosh. Oh, I don't have well, anyways, when they were talking about, oh, they'll get them next year, that's when I went with the Edmonton Oilers. So, anyways, they're up against my Kings, but doesn't feel very good now. It feels like they'll probably be able to feel like they will be able to wrap this one up here tonight. Kings, look, we know the storyline here. Kings can't win on the road, and why would they do so now against an Edmonton team that pretty solid at home to get that crowd going here a little bit. They've won 3 straight games right now, and Kings fading into the sunset. It was 3-1. The Oilers won that last game at LA. Of course, they destroyed the Kings 7-4 back in game number 4, and then won game 5 4-3. So would need a monumental effort here from the Kings. They've lost 13 of their last 20 times to Edmonton, especially in the playoffs where they struggle against this team. They're going to lose to them again here in the postseason, and just can't get past this team. It feels like right now. Couldn't lose that game at home. You can't lose when you don't play well on the road. Even if you dominate at home, you can't lose a game at home, and that's going to do it for the LA Kings. It feels like here tonight. I'll go to the chat, but my play is going to be on the Edmonton Oilers on the puck line. I'm willing to lay it with the Oilers. They'll get the, in closeouts. I think that the empty netter is far more likely in these type of games. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the puck line tonight with Edmonton here at plus $1.60 or so, and take the Oilers to close this one out. Let's go to the chat. Maybe I'm just bummed. Will Johnson's here today. Good to have Will. Avalanche on the puck line. It says 9 Legacy and Oilers on the puck line. Cash Kane says, what'd you have in the last game? I went with the under in Dallas and Colorado. Will said Cash Winnipeg yesterday. Cash Kane also on the over here. Nuke says Oilers smash. He's on the puck line with me. And Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over in this one. And Cash Kane, yeah, that's good money when you probably can get. Now look, maybe the Kings can fight it off. Maybe they can get to an overtime. Picard has done well. It's amazing that the Oilers have. Look, I know, Skinner has not been exactly 100% right, but man, to kind of end up back here with Picard is kind of, I don't know, this is more who they're rolling with. It feels like right now will be Picard. And yeah, we know that the Oilers, maybe their weak spot is in goal, of course, but they've got it done here in Picard. 22-10 record. Kemper 31-11. He's clearly the better goalie statistically this season, but NYC Bar Oilers on the money line. I've got Edmonton here on the puck line. That's going to do it for the hockey. Thank you, and hopefully some of these series may extend here tonight, but we know we've got a little bit more action hopefully still to come. I guess that there is a chance that we could see obviously Ottawa could wrap it up and would be all ready to go in the East. And really, we could be sitting here after tonight with just one series trying to figure out it will be Winnipeg or St. Louis. St. Louis will get that next game at home where they're so tough. And that'll be it for the first round. All right. Let's move on to baseball. We've got a heavy day card here today. And let's get into it right now with Paul Skeens' day here against Colin Ray. And Skeens rolled last time here. And maybe it is a reasonable price right now with the way the Pirates are going. Yeah, they've got the brutal bullpen, but, if Paul Skeens can pitch deep into the game. The line here, though, has been a huge mover on the Cubs today. Let's check. The lineup is in. So if you like discounts, we've got your man right here. I'm listing $1.60 there, and I think it was as high as $1.60 on those openers. But man, we're all the way down to as low as $1.30. I'll put $1.35. Some of the square books are still willing to hold on a little bit, but man, this has been a huge move on the Cubs here today. Pittsburgh, I don't know what the deal is necessarily here. Let's take a look at these lineups. I mean, if you're getting Paul Skeens on a 25-cent discount or more, can you pass up even against one of the hottest teams going in the Chicago Cubs, or at least one of the hottest offenses going? If you got the man to shut them down, why wouldn't you? The Pirates have done a little bit of hitting. We know that. They've had some nice things going. O'Neal Cruz is doing a great job so far, it feels like, for the youngster. He's got a long way to go, but he's been good. Kutch has been heating up here. He's moved his average up to 277. How about that terrible tragedy there, that incident yesterday? That was frightening. What was that man? Do you think he was intoxicated, you guys? Well, I'm sure we'll find out more, but the way it looked like he leaped over if you didn't see it, I know a lot of you, I'm sure everyone, you guys are so hardcore. A fan fell from 20 feet above the field yesterday onto the field, seriously injured, was taken to the hospital, reportedly in critical condition there after it was a base hit, remember, and the weird thing was the ball was bouncing around there in the short outfield, and you saw the outfielders kind of run in, but they were making a play on the ball, and it wasn't until after the play that people were pointing out that the man had fallen there. He was shirtless. He had a bloody face. It looked like he was trying to jump up to celebrate a little bit, right? Because the Pirates were up to bat. McCutchen hit the ball. He got a double on the play. And then they were pointing it out. It was a short delay, but what a bizarre incident. Okay, but let's talk about this one. So, man, big discount here on Paul Skeens. How can you pass up? Right? We know that we're always going to pay a premium, it feels like. Now, granted, you got Colin Ray here who's got some incredible numbers, so you got to give the Cubs a little bit of credit too. Maybe there is a little bit of that, built in the fact that Ray here, the veteran, has had a very, very solid start to his season, but we knew that he was already pitching well. The price, like I said, the overnight price felt like $1.55 or $1.60 here, and we're definitely seeing a move. Now, I don't see this lineup missing many key player. Let's see what it looks like here. This lineup for Pittsburgh today. The lineup is out for this game. This one's at 12:35 Eastern and 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So we're just about ready to go. For the Cubs, Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, Bush, Horner, PCA, Amaya, Swanson, and Lopez is starting at third base today. For the Pirates, Cruz, Reynolds, and McCutchen, Valdez, Hayes, and Canario gets the start in left field. Frazier, Triolo's in at shortstop today, and Henry Davis there. So not a great, there are definitely a few names in there for Pittsburgh. Maybe that's a little weaker lineup here. But man, let's go to the chat. A little bit of steam coming in here right now in the game between. I also want to add one other note here real quick, but St. Louis and Cincinnati, we're seeing some steam to the over here with Liberatore and Andrew Abbott. It was 8.5, but we're going to be going up to 9 under here. We're going to preview this game next, but Cubs and Pirates here. Also, moments ago when we were just getting started, there was also steam on the over in the game between the Athletics and Texas. We know that Texas has played a huge string of unders for the most part. Yeah, there was an over in this series already, but Texas 2-12 to the under at home, but the steam came in on the over in that one. Also, we did see some steam come in on this game, the Cubs and the Pirates, but it was steamed in the first 5 innings here. It does reflect, I think, a little bit now because this total has gone up to 8 under 20 now at one square offshore book. So maybe a little bit of move to the over here in this one. That also feels kind of bizarre. Let's go to the chat. Let me stop yapping here about this and see what you have. But like I always say, if you like discounts, and again, when I say discount, I'm never saying, hey, I think it's a discount because I think the price is wrong and the bookmaker got it wrong. I'm not one of those guys. I think the price is always right to a certain extent. It should be reflective of the bookmaker's interests and what the public is doing. That's the way I see it. But when I say value, I'm talking about prices on sale without big injuries. Maybe there's a little bit, like I said, to this lineup the Pirates are sending out there, but if the schemes was as high as $1.15 or $1.55 or $1.60, and now they're $1.30 or $1.35, that to me is a discount. Not my opinion that it's a discount. I think it's more of a fact. You can lay a cheaper price here with Paul Skeens. And I'll give it to you if you want to say, hey, that lineup looks pretty weak and maybe it's worthy here. And we know Pittsburgh has been crap. 12-19 right now coming in. Cubs still 18-13, looking great, certainly with that offense, no doubt about it. Great offense, great job. All right, let's go to the chat right now with Cubbies on the money line here for Cash Kane. Cubs first 5 money line here for Jerry. Skeens will get hit by this Cubs lineup. He'll get hit today, says Cash Kane. Luis is on the Cubs. We do here today. I like that. Let's just keep that one. Let's keep we do. I like that name. Now he'll change it, but I vote for we do. It's easy to say. It's fun to say. And here's Cubs team total over in the first 5 for Jermaine. Here's Cubs money line. So everybody's on the Cubs. I see what it is here. Jerry was talking about that incident with the man there. And NYC bar set, right? There's, like I said, let me make sure I'm maybe I could talk about the players a little bit, right? The pitchers, like I like to do. So Ray does have the better ERA, but no one's going to put Colin Ray in the class of Paul Skeens, but he's been awesome so far. Although only 3 starts in 6 appearances for Colin Ray. He's also been he's had an opener in some of his outings. 0.96 ERA, 107 the whip, 315 BABIP, however, so maybe there's a little bit of luck involved. They have won all 3 of Colin Ray's starts. For Paul Skeens here, 2.39 ERA, but a 0.8 whip right now and a 190 batting average against. Pirates are 3-3 with Skeens. Fernando says Cubs team total over. Jerry says Ray's been solid. Philly Eagle Flyers got some plays here. He likes it to be tied. And Cash Kane says, I like the under with these 2 pitchers. today. And Jermaine says he had the Pirates yesterday. Also, Fernando is leaning to the under in this one. Jerry says it is 8 now. You look at a lot of places. This one has moved higher. Oh, so I didn't finish that thought or that piece of information that, yes, this game did move higher. But I will note that it was the first 5 that actually moved a little bit higher, if I'm not mistaken, than the full game. The full game did move to 8 here at some places, but the first 5 had a little bit more of a charge. I think it was 3.5, heavily juiced to the over now. Is that right? Bob Barker, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. 420, Bob. Anybody see that guy? Anybody see that viral video from many, many years ago where the guy kept, every time they went to him, he'd bid 420. I gotta go 420, Bob. And if you ever, there's another, Bob's got some viral, they've got some viral videos out there. You ever seen the other one with the man wearing the Michigan shirt in the audience, and he goes crazy every time they call, and he's like in the front row, and he's like, all right. Let's see here. Philly Eagle Flyers starting a website. Well, I'm looking to write for a website. Anybody got any jobs for a wannabe sports writer that wants to write about sports gambling? I might do it for free. All right, here. I think I'm running out of plays from you guys. That's it. Look, I'm taking Paul Skeens here, $1.30. I'm sorry. Hopefully the bullpen doesn't come in and mess things up. Maybe Skeens runs deep. I know he's facing the Cubs here. Amen to that. At $1.35 or less, I got to take Paul Skeens. Anytime I'm going to get Paul Skeens on a discount, look, we know we know their limitations, so give me the Pirates. Cardinals taking on the Reds after yesterday's doubleheader. That maybe there's a little. We just saw the move here, and I'll update it. Not only is it up to 9, the sharp books are up to 9 over here. I'm going to call it 9 flat for now, but also the line has shifted in this game. The Cardinals, we don't have the lineup just yet. Maybe it's out and it hasn't been pumped in here a little bit is what it feels like. Oh, shoot. I just messed up the graphic here. Here we go. Okay, Cardinals are moving to, I'm going to call it a pick'em. A couple books are starting to move the Cardinals to a favorite. Some still have the Reds slightly a favorite. This is the price I'm going to call right now here. I'm going to call it a pick'em and 9 right now, but there's no doubt this total has moved up. What happened? Maybe yesterday you saw, obviously, with the Cardinals having a pretty good run there yesterday. They scored 15 runs, right, in the doubleheader yesterday against the Reds. So maybe there's a little bit of something to that. Having to use bullpens on a doubleheader. Remember, it wasn't a planned doubleheader, right? They had a rain out. So now we move into the day game. Let me just peek at the wind conditions there and we're in the small park here. I get that. So you guys are welcome to start commenting here. I just want to check how it only one game got rained out yesterday. I know you guys were all worried about all the game, and there was some conditions there, but I guess that was 2 nights ago. Okay, here we go. Our day games here right now. All right, in Cincinnati here, winds heavy from right to left field, 12 to 14 miles per hour, and we're in the high 70s for the most part today here in Cincinnati. So let's see how you guys want to go with this one with St. Louis and Cincinnati. I have a feeling that move to the total is going to be right here. Not to mention you have Liberatore. Look, these guys have fine numbers. Liberatore, 3.19 ERA, 235 batting average against, and a .96 WHIP. Does have a 300 BABIP. Cardinals are just 2-3 with Liberatore on the mound. For Andrew Abbott, we may be rounding into form here a little bit for Abbott. Got a battle left-handers here, obviously. Reds are 3-0 with Abbott so far. 3.6 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, a 170 batting average against, and a 200 BABIP. If anything, Abbott is kind of looking kind of like he did last year, and we'll have to see once it gets rolling. Maybe he should improve. A good pitcher. We all liked him, it felt like, last year. Now the Reds have lost those two games yesterday in that double header, although the Reds did win the opener here 3-1. Cardinals, though, yes, they did get two key wins on the road. They're still 4-12 on the road so far this season. It's been trouble for sure, but now they're playing the Reds, and although the Reds are off to an okay start, they have the better record, 16-15 compared to St. Louis here with a 14-17 record overall. And let's go to your picks with this one. And if it's a high score, I would imagine there could be some volatility here. Let's get the comments going with Cash Kane, or I'm sorry, 9 Legacy here. Cubs money line. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Reds in the first 5. And I just want to point out right now, Coco Gauff is blitzing Iga Swiatek here right now. And hey, hopefully you guys went over. I don't know. I'll say hopefully, but it is Iga after all. But if you guys went over to winnable.com and checked out my pick on this match, I do have Coco Gauff as the I did take her on the game spread, but hey, that's looking good too. She's already up 4-1 here. And Cerundolo and Mensick, could we see these two go to a third set? Now, it is on serve. We could get a tiebreak here in the first set between these two. But nonetheless, a pretty exciting match here right now. So try to get to that third set. It is on serve. Mensick is serving here, down 6-5, trying to get to that tiebreak. All right. And Abbott pitching pretty good. Yeah, he is. Good job here. Here's Cash Kane on the Reds. Cash Kane, in fact, he's going to lay it here with the Reds. He's going to lay 2.5. For the Cards here, like I said, this losing streak, this losing ways on the road. Here's Fernando, team total over. And Tremaine says if it's 9 over, 8.5 under. I think that's what he's saying, kind of like a game theory type of, Here's Luis on the Red. A lot of Reds. Are the Reds a consensus play here on this one? Let's see here. Abbott K's on FanDuel, only 5.5. Cash Kane says he's got Abbott to mow these guys down today. All right, I guess that's it though from you guys. Maybe it felt like almost a consensus play. Reds having trouble offensively though with the run scoring at home. Yes, for sure. Reds, though, still averaging 5 runs per game overall, which is interesting, right? Obviously, Jerry, because of their ballpark, you'd think they'd be a little bit stronger here. So I think there's hope for them a little bit here offensively. I was hoping we get the lineup here before I finish out this one. In fact, we do have it. Let's take a look. Get the lineup for this game, and maybe that'll help us out a little bit. We see. I'm taking Cincinnati. Let me just call it right now. I I want to see this lineup, but it's my free play here. For the Cardinals, Nootbaar, Wynn, Donovan, Arenado, Contreras, and Baker, Walker, Pozo, and Barrero. So got some guys there at the bottom of the lineup we don't see often starting for the Reds here. Friedel. I mentioned Friedel yesterday with that first home run of the season there the other day. Someone called me out on that and said you said it was the first of his career. I was talking about, remember when he had the first home run of his career? Friedel, McLean, and the guy had to retrieve the ball. Friedel, McLean, De La Cruz, Marte, Espinal, Steer, Lux, Trevino, and Dunn for the Reds. So look, I mean, you got Noel Marte looking pretty good. This Reds lineup, Marte, with De La Cruz batting in front of him, Noel Marte has really been able to take advantage of that so far. And Gavin Lux, can't overlook what he's been doing there as well this season. So the Reds do have some strokers there, if I can say it. And Jermaine says he leans to the Cards with that totals move there, I think. Tex says that was a disappointing doubleheader. And Jermaine says no Austin Hayes. Okay. And Jermaine talking about that line move. Yeah, getting Lux back there, right? As can be key. I'm taking the Reds here in this one. I'm taking the Reds. Okay. All right, let's keep going here right now. We got plenty of games to talk about. How about the Diamondbacks taking on the Mets with Zach Gallen and Kodai Senga? Could this be the pitching matchup of the day here right now with these two, even over the Ray and Skeens? I don't know about that, but because Zach Gallen's having a little bit of issues here for sure. 1-4 with a 5.57 ERA. A lot of people are down on Gallen at this point. 287 BABIP, 1.4 WHIP. For Kodai Senga, what can you say about this guy? 1.26 ERA, 208 batting average against. He's been pretty good here so far. All 5 of Senga's starts have gone under so far this season. Senga's 3-1 overall, and the Mets here right now. You look at, what's going on here? All right, you look at the Mets here right now, 21-10, looking strong. And for Gallen, this is the 7th start of the season here for Zach Gallen. Arizona's just 2-4 so far in his 6 starts this season. All right, let's go to the chat though now with this matchup and see what you have for the Diamondbacks taking on the Mets here. Arizona has lost 5 of their last 7 coming in. They've also lost 12 of the last 17 games overall against the New York Mets coming in. Look at the price now on the Mets. It's maybe up to $1.60 here at some spots, and it's been juiced up on the over right now. What's going on with that? Maybe down on Gallen a little bit. Maybe it's 8 under 20 right now. I'm gonna call it 7.5 over 20, but just because I kind of thought it's a good pitching matchup. Look, I expect Gallen to get a little bit better. We got the lineup coming in just right now, and we do have Nimmo. He is in the starting lineup. He was questionable for this game, but Nimmo is in. Let's take a look at the lineup here between Arizona and the New York Mets and see what these lineups look like here today. For the Diamondbacks, Carroll, Perdomo, Smith, Naylor, Suarez, Gurriel, Thomas, Tawa, and Herrera. For the Mets, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Winker, Vientos, and Nimmo, Torrens, McNeil, and Taylor. All right. Let's get to the chat here right now and get your picks for Arizona and the Mets. Here we go. Mets first 5 for Cash Kane. Mets -1 here for Jerry. And this one will be tied after 2. Gallon struggles, says Philly Eagle Flyer. And Fernando doesn't bet the Europa League. I did not know that. Hey, we're seeing some steam here right now. Well, I guess I called it. And even though I've screwed up the typo, the graphic there, I can fix it to go to 8. Definitely the move is on the over here in this one, and now it's being reported by the line service. So let's call it 8 under 20, but move to the over here for sure. As soon as those lineups came out, apparently, the steam is coming in right now on the over and starting to see a lot of 8s. In fact, I'm seeing 8 flat here now at some of the square books. Even though I've even kept it there at 8 under 20, there is steam to the over here just within the last. As soon as these lineups came out, here come the steam, and also here come the move a little bit on Arizona right now in this game as an underdog. Let's see how far they'll take this line down. I said it was up to $1.60, but all of a sudden, a little bit of buyback here on Arizona. All right, I got to take the New York Mets here. I'll lay it $1.50, but hey, if we wait long enough, we might be getting to $1.45 range or so. Give me the Mets today as a favorite. I'll just take them on the money line to keep rolling right now. Twins and Guardians, Simeon Woods Richardson, taking on Lively and the Guards here today for
Steam playing.
A little bit of steam coming in right now in the background. You've heard it is the Colorado Avalanche. They were $1.75, $1.80 or so, but man, we are going up right now with the Avs. They are $1.90 here and even $2. $2 starting to appear at some square offshore books right now. Big move here on Colorado tonight. I don't think we've had any injury information come out necessarily there. We know that Heiskanen has been out. We know that Robertson has been out. So move here, though, to Colorado. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now with the action in this one between the Twins and the Guardians. Wood Richardson taking on Ben Lively here in this one. For Lively, comes in with a 4.4 ERA, 1.33 whip, 4.4, 261 batting average against, a 287 BABIP force. Simeon Woods Richardson, the numbers not great. 407 ERA and a 362 BABIP, although the Twins are 3-1 with Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound. For the Twins here in this one, they have won 6 of their last 9, but they've lost 4 of the last 5 here against Cleveland. They're also 1-6 on the road, their last 7. And Cleveland's won 8 of 12 right now. They've won 10 of 15, 10 of their last 15 at home. I think that's all of them, 10 and 5 at home. So far this season, Cleveland has been winning at home, and Minnesota has been losing big time on the road. Even with Cleveland, obviously the better team here. The Twins' bats have heated up here a little bit, and hasn't affected. I say heated up before, right? They got the 11 runs there in game 1. But what happened last 2 games? 2-1 Cleveland, 4-2 Cleveland. I'm not sure what gives here. Could see this lineup pop in here momentarily, I would imagine. In fact, I show Guardians favored on the screen, but right now we're starting to see this move shift again here. The least I could do is call it a pick 'em. We're seeing Minnesota favored at a couple of spots here right now. Maybe this is Minnesota's day. I don't care. I'm taking Cleveland here right now. You're telling me that I'm getting basically a pick 'em. And look, I like Simeon Woods Richardson. Maybe long term, maybe he will have something here. But Cleveland's 4-2 with Lively. And you mentioned that I mentioned those numbers, man. Those are some big time discrepancies. 10-5 at home against 4-12 on the road here, and it's a pick 'em. Now I'm going to take the Guardians. That should probably be a premium. I would think we might get some offense here. We may get some offense here. I'm feeling all of a sudden. All right, let's go to the chat. The Twins are 11-16 to the under so far this season, allowing just 3.7 runs per game, and the Guardians are only scoring 3.8 runs per game. But I gotta think we might get some offense here. What's the weather like? Wind's blowing straight out to center field, 15 miles an hour. All right. Hoping to get those lineups before I finish this one, but let's see what you got. In the chat, we've got Luis on the Mets. Oh, I'm behind there a little bit, but he went with me on the Mets. First 5 under in that one. Oh, did I skip the you guys' picks? Jermaine on the D-backs. AOD, he is ready for the game tonight. Luis is on the Twins. NYC Bar's on the Twins. Okay, I see. Our experts are kind of on the Twins in this one, so maybe I should have saw that coming. Philly Eagle Flyer on the over. I gotta think over, doesn't it? We do talking about. Was he talking about that Carrasco game yesterday? 9 legacies on Minnesota as well. Man, it almost feels like a consensus play. Did anybody take Cleveland with me? It almost feels like 9. It almost feels like Minnesota is a consensus play here. I know I'm leaving it up to you guys without Thomas around, but I might have to start making the consensus calls here. All right, pardon me. Oh, is Iga already on her bathroom break here? Did Iga go on her bathroom break already after she always needs a bathroom break after the first set. We know that. Gotta go pee-pee. Okay. Woods pitches good versus Cleveland, says Jermaine. Okay, that might be it. That might be the key in this game is the head-to-head pitching matchups here. Okay. Let me see. I'll see if I could call him up real quick, or maybe you guys already have it here, but I maybe could take a peek at it here real quick. Jermaine doesn't really mess with these teams, so he's just giving us stats there a little bit with these two. And I was going to peek at the BVP. Today in this one. Okay. Here we go. Against Woods-Richardson. Or Cleveland against Woods-Richardson. Woods pitches well against him. Let's take a look at that. Don't think we have the lineup quite yet, but Jose Ramirez 0 for 8. Bo Naylor 1 for 4. Kwan 1 for 3. Kwan, Naylor, and Manzardo all have home runs off of Woods-Richardson. Manzardo's 2 for 2 against him. Like I said, I have not seen the lineup. Okay, it's out. The lineup is out here. I'm going to peek at it real quick. Try to give you the daytime lineups here. Just trying to do a good job for you guys on the show. Even if I get a little stalled here. For the Twins, Julian Correa Buxton, Larnach France Lee, Bader, Clemens, and Vasquez. For the Guardians, Kwan, Arias, Ramirez, Manzardo, Noel, and my man Schneemann. There he is. Wilson, Rocchio, and Hedges. All right. I'm a Schneemann. I know you guys were making fun of me a little bit there when I was talking about Daniel Schneemann there a couple weeks ago, but that's my man, Daniel Schneemann. from back in the day. I mean, I know he's been around a little while, but he's back from the San Diego area. So I'm a Schneemann fan. That's the way it is. All right. Let's see here. Jerry says in the Ballpark Pal site that this game should have elevated runs. I have to agree. I got to go with Ballpark Pal on that one. All right. Let's keep it moving right now to the next one. By the time we get done talking about it, we'll have the lineups. This one, Tampa Bay, $1.65, $1.70 right now, going higher. And the total 8/20. The move is definitely on the raise here, it feels like right now. But I don't know. Are the Rays that much better right now than these Royals? Now, maybe they are with Shane Baz because we've talked about him a little bit. He's got good numbers, 2.46 ERA, 3-0 record so far for Baz. He's obviously done a pretty nice job, but Kansas City here has won the last two games here 3-1 and 3-0 with some great pitching, and he got Seth Lugo here in this one. Man, Lugo's looking good too. Don't overlook him. He's got solid numbers here, a 3.08 ERA and a 2-3 record so far for Lugo. But still, he looked good last time as well. Lugo's gone under in 5 of his 6 starts. He's got a 232 BABIP and a 218 batting average against. Great numbers for Baz. 2.45 ERA, a whip under 1, 266 BABIP, but a 194 batting average against. And the Rays are 4-1 with Baz on the mound. Man, this seems like another dead solid pitchers duel under game, doesn't it? I got to go under in this one. Come on. This one's going to be exactly like the last two, isn't it? 3-. Now, you guys were talking about it, right? What were you saying? The unders are happening in Tampa Bay in the night games. So maybe there's a little bit to that. Maybe with a day game today, it'll be a little bit higher scoring. I don't know, but this looks like a good pitching matchup against, let's face it, Kansas City's offense. Do you have them last in the league, or do you have them next to last right now with this 3.1 scoring average? We know it's just a brutal tale of offense for Kansas City, so they're going to struggle, I would think, here against Baz. And maybe the same holds true for the Rays lineup against a guy like Lugo, who goes out there and gives you a solid effort. It feels like every time. I was sorry to see Lugo go to, leave the Padres because I thought he was pretty good. Anyway, Kansas City's gone under in 5 of their last 6. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 on the road. Tampa Bay's gone under in 5 straight. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Rays are definitely struggling here. 1-7 in their last 8 games at home, even though they have been winning. Overall, they had their winning streak snapped with those 2 losses. Remember, they swept my Padres and then have lost the first 2 games of this series. Kansas City's actually won 6 of the last 9 here against Tampa Bay. And despite all these problems that I'm talking about with the Royals offense, they've only won 8 of their last 9 games overall to move above 500. So this is an interesting game. And let's see how you have it. Do we have the lineups yet? Not quite. I don't think we have the lineups confirmed just yet. Maybe you guys can tell me if it is, and it's hard. Hey, I'm running a show here by myself. Maybe you guys can help me if the lineups come in. Let me know. Hoping to get them anyway. Here we go with your plays. Cash Kane is on the Rays here. Tampa Bay money line for 9 legacy. Jermaine likes the Rays on the run line here. Cash Kane liking the under. I'm on the under. Philly Eagle Flyer likes it to be tied. He's fit to be tied. Is Philly Eagle Flyer. Luis is on the under, and this one, man, you guys are all over the Rays here. And this one, I couldn't lay that price with a Tampa team right now. Look, Tampa, like I said, they've lost 7 of their last 8 at home. Kansas City comes in having won 8 of their last 9. Now Kansas City is 5-10 on the road. And Jerry says, Rays day games have gone over so far this season, but there's no doubt we're dealing with two very solid under teams overall. Okay, I'm going to go under. I'm going under. I can't get away from it. All right, I'm just checking my tennis match there. Cerundolo did win the second set, and now he broke Jakub Mensik in the first game of the third set. So Cerundolo is coming on here, and he takes the lead right now in that match over Mensik, despite getting blown out of that first set 6-3. Cerundolo is a $2 favorite after winning the second game. Right now, he leads 2-0. And Coco here has already broken Iga in the second set. She's going to win this one. She's going to blow out Iga here in this one, man. She is on fire right now. Could Coco win this tournament? Madrid Open. She is. Look, Coco's a minus 2,000 right now, and Iga can't even hit a forehand in bounds right now. All right, here we go. Does anybody want to do any tennis streams in the middle of the night with me? All right, here we go. Let's go to the Brewers and the White Sox right now, with the Brewers on the road. Pretty big favorite here with Patrick, the young pitcher, going in this one. He's got a 2.45 ERA and a 290 BABIP. He's looked good so far, despite just a 1-2 record coming in for Burke here. Look, he looked good early, but right now he's having some problems, and his ERA is up to 6 here. Maybe he's pitched a little bit of bad luck. He does have a respectable 262 BABIP coming in, so he probably deserves better, but still, he's just 1-4 so far this season. He's 2-3 when they've started. He had an opener, I believe, in one of his starts so far this season. The White Sox just 7-23 right now. I said don't let me ever take the White Sox, but hey, what did I do? I took them again yesterday with Seth Smith. Remember, it was a blowout, or it was a high-scoring game anyway. White Sox have lost 3 straight games here in this series. They've lost 2 of them, 7-2 and 6-4. The Brewers have blown these guys out of the water here right now, and I'm going to do it again. I'm laying this run line today for sure. The way this one's going, give me Milwaukee even before I head to the chat. They're minus 1.5 at probably minus 115 or so here today, I would imagine. And I'm straight away, I'm just going to take here the Milwaukee Brewers. Don't even have to look at it here, but I'll look at the plays in the chat. Certainly, you guys are good to go. And we've got the Brewers run line here for Luis. NYC Bar on the Brewers. Jerry is on the Rays here in this one. And White Sox on the run line, and Burks to record the win. That's got to be a great payout for 9 Legacy here. And maybe the White Sox can find something today. Here's Jermaine on the Brewers run line. Brewers might be a consensus even with 9 Legacies playing there. After all, I'm on the Brewers run line too. Jerry's got a bunch of Brewers here. All right. And man, no one could I should have known. I should have picked up the consensus early on. We'll run the drawing, and maybe I can just find the consensus plays and what they were. Good morning to Patrick, the sports betting groovy alien. Yeah, Thomas has been back, Patrick. He's stopped by, but he's been playing tennis in the mornings right now. And look, as much as I love Thomas, and I'd love to have him here helping me out with these consensus plays, if Thomas is playing some tennis in the morning every day, I know you said he was doing some paintball tournaments. So, hey, as long as Thomas is staying active, I'm okay with that. I wish I was staying as active as that. One more in the daytime card here with the Athletics taking on the Rangers here with, you got Springs here going up against Tyler Mahle. here. Molly's been hot, we know that, but the move is on the A's here for sure. Molly is
Steam
down
play.
to $1.40 here for the most part, and the total is has moved up for sure. A whole half of a run, it looks like 9 under 15,
Final.
9 under 20 maybe right now. Between the Athletics and the Rangers. Now we know Molly's had some great numbers. 1.14 ERA. This guy would probably win the Cy Young Award if you went strictly on the statistics right now, right? Does have some trouble with walks, but 3-0, 0.98 the whip, 217 BABIP. I don't know if it's Cy Young, but
Final.
certainly one of the top pitchers in the league so far now for Springs. He's got a 6.04 ERA right now and 298 BABIP. He's actually pitched in a little bit of trouble here. He is 5-0 to the over so far this season. And look, the move is on the A's here. I get that. A's have been, rewarding teams so far this season. Right now, I guess they're down to break even here at this point, but still, Rangers offense 3.3 runs per game. But the A's, remember, they're still allowing 5.2 runs per game. Yes, these scores have been dramatically low in Texas so far. The Rangers are struggling a bit. The Athletics have won 3 of their last 4, including 7-1 yesterday and 2-1 to open this series. They've won 2 of the 3 games. Texas is just 2-14. I think I've even had it wrong here. I've been saying 2-12 for the last 12 hours. 2-14 to the under at home so far this season. The A's are 5-7-4
Final.
to the under on the road. Like I said, Springs is 5-0-1 to the over here, but
Final.
see, they're talking about Steven Yeager out to a good start at the PGA. Byron Nelson CJ Cup. That is one of my top plays. Remember, I went with 8 plays, but Yeager is having a pretty solid round here so far. Also, I've got Balamaki. He's also right there at the top. I tabbed him at 80-1. Check out my golf plays over there. He's actually tied for the lead right now at the CJ Cup. Here also, I have Hoey on my list, and he's tied for 3rd right now, 3 under. I said go with Hoey today or this weekend at 80-1. So we might be alive here a little bit on some of these golfers here this week. It's going to be a high volatility at the CJ Cup. All right, let's continue, though. I'm talking baseball here with the Springs and Molly. Look, I think Molly's just pitching too well to pass up on another discount here. I might have been on the A's at $1.60 or something like that, but throw in a little discount here, and I might be willing to take another favorite here at this point, down to $1.40 at the South Point here in Vegas. So that might be good enough for me here. I would imagine it's going to be another tight, low-scoring game, actually. Here we go with some picks. We've got Athletics on the money line. Jerry also going with Yeager today, or this weekend. Billy Eagle Flyer does like the Rangers. Luis likes the under. I'm going to go with Texas. Maybe against my better judgment here right now. Texas isn't exactly winning all the games. We know that. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Coming into this one, the A's have been doing a nice job here. Their A's are actually 10-6 on the road so far this season. But you look at this matchup here. I'm already committed, right? I'm taking Texas. Texas is 12-4 on the run line at home so far this season. I think that is interesting to note. Not that they've been favored every time. They're only 8-6 as a run line favorite. Texas is here. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone under. A's have won 4 of the last 5. I'm taking Texas, though. I'm going to try Texas here one more time. A's have been fun. They've been terrific. I got to take the discount. Okay, next up. Nationals and Phillies here in this one with the Taiwan Walker. Doing pretty well. I mean, why does everybody always give Walker a hard time here? 2.78 ERA. Yeah, just a 1-2 record. Bad run support, but the Phillies have won 4 in a row coming in. He's got a 239 batting average against and 288 BABIP for Lord. He is 0-3. I'd say he's pitched okay so far for sure. 4.67 ERA, but we're not going to fret with this young pitcher right now. We'll give him some breathing room here, but still a 0.37 BABIP. And I don't know, are we getting even a discount here with the Phillies at $1.70 or so right now? It's up to $1.80 here at some spots. Phillies just came in yesterday. They blew them out 7-2. This is a third game of the set. Phillies won 7-6 in game one. Remember, with that walk-off after they were leading 6-3, and Washington tied it up in the top of the ninth. That 3-run homer, the Phillies ended up, or no, Washington took the lead 6-5, and then the Phillies won in the bottom half. But Phillies got the blowout win yesterday here over Washington. And yes, I think the Phillies have had enough domination of this team for the most part. Phillies have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Washington on the road, not great, just 4-11. Phillies are 11-4. Phillies just 11-11 as a run line favorite, but Washington 5-10 on the run line on the road, and Phillies 9-6 on the run line at home. Although I will mention 2-5 as a as an under. I think let me make sure I get this right. 9-6 on the run line at home for Philadelphia. Okay, there we go. So let's see how you go. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here. In fact, there's 10s all over the board. We got to update that. It's 10 under 15 for sure, pretty much everywhere. And I'd say the Phillies are up to $1.70 or so with Walker. Let's go to the chat, see how you have it in this one with Trevor says, take the Nationals on the run line today. Cash Kane, Phillies money line and over. Luis is on the over here in this one. NYC Var says, Phillies on the run line. Phillies team total over here for Philly Eagle Flyer. 9 Legacy says, Nationals on the money line. And how about James Wood for another home run? I'd love to watch that man swing his bat. And Jerry says the Nats first 3 money line, and Philly Eagle Flyer says I'm probably heading for 9. That'd be an under though. Philly Eagle Flyer, we're definitely dealing with 10s here everywhere right now between Washington and Philadelphia today. And we know look, Philly at home 10-5 to the over so far. It feels like they're 15-0 to the over at some of these games. It feels like, but I probably agree with this move. I just don't know if I can get behind it now. So for me, it's going to be the Phillies on the run line. Give me Philly to roll Washington today. Next up, we're running out of games here, but thanks everybody for joining me on the morning steam. The Red Sox are taking on the Blue Jays here. The Blue Jays are $1.15 right now, and I don't know if they're $1.15 anymore. I'm going to call it a pick'em. Although we're starting to see the Red Sox favored here at some books right now. The total 8.5 over at -115, maybe -120 or so right now, with a Red Sox on the road with Tanner Houck. Tanner Houck comes into this one with an ERA of 7.58, and the move is on the Red Sox for some reason. Now for Jose Barrios, 4.24 ERA, not great either, kind of been roughed up a little bit. This is the third game of this series between the two teams. Toronto still under 500, but they did win yesterday against Boston by the score of 7-6. Here, remember, Boston won the first game 10-2. So let's see how you're playing it. And here, Blue Jays 12-18 to the under at home. They are up to 3.5 runs per game. I guess I could say it like that. Houck is 0-2. Red Sox are 1-5 with Houck on the mound. Blue Jays are 4-2 with Berrios here. So let's see how you have it, and we'll go to the chat for this one and see what you think with Boston and Toronto. Toronto's won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams, but although here in Toronto, Boston's had the upper hand. This is a series that's been dominated by the road team of late. We know Toronto's been on a bit of a losing string here. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games despite the win there yesterday. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but Boston's been going over on the road here for sure. 7 of their last 8 games have been over for the Red Sox on the road. Also, Toronto 9-6 to the under so far to the over so far at home, but just 4-6 to the under as a favorite. I'm taking Toronto. I'm taking Toronto with Berrios here. Houck is having some issues for sure. Yes, Boston's gotten the better of this team on the road, but I'm going with Toronto. I know everybody's upset right now. Toronto this, Toronto that, but I'm going with the Jays here. Here we go with some picks from you guys. And Tex Styles said he's got wood. He's almost halfway home there, right, Tex? Nasty Nate says the Red Sox to smash in this one. Luis is on the Jays here. Jerry says Eagles should just quit. She's getting blowed out right now. And yeah, man, I should just send out Coco as a dog, but she's going to beat her 6-1, 6-1 here. This is going to be one of the worst. And we know Eagles had those ups and downs. You guys reminded me when I said, wow, look at Alexandria Ayala beating her, and you guys like, just only the second time she beat her this month, practically, or whatever it was. NYC Bar is on Toronto, 9 Legacy's on the Jays, and Cash Kane is on the Jays. So almost a consensus there, but let's respect Nasty Nate, of course. Nasty Nate, thank you for being here every day, and never had the opportunity to even speak with you. But man, I really feel secure. It really feels good when you're in the chat and helping us out. Okay. Couple more here real quick. Let's get done with the show. I want to move on and get ready for some daytime baseball. Tigers and Angels here today with Casey Mize on the road in this one. Coco wins. Easy here, man. Could Coco win this? Coco can win, right? She can win. She can beat Sabalenka. Let's not overlook Svitolina here. Svitolina's going to be probably pretty live in that match. Check out my picks, though, over there at Winnable for these late matches here. We still got another one. Still got 2 more in the men's side here. I think Draper and Arnaldi. Cerundolo up. I should say Francisco Cerundolo. I know the 2 Cerandolos, but Cerundolo up here and now beating Mensick. Mensick's going to need a break somewhere in there. We're going to need a break here next game or after this service game. But Iga right now, you got to wonder, yes, she's the queen of the clay or formerly the queen of the clay, but man, she gets frustrated, right? She always does her racket when she's mad, like she's not playing right. So whatever Iga's situation is right now, it's not going well for Iga.
Steam playing.
At this point, you got to wonder what holds in store for the I'm just peeking at the bracket there under my computer there. All right, but maybe take some prices at the French. Steam just came in moments ago. You guys talked about it. The Minnesota-Cleveland game. the steam is coming in on the over big time right now. And you guys said it could be some runs in that game. And man, it's going up. It is going up right now. We're seeing the total with Minnesota and Cleveland here all moving all the way up to 9.5 under here now at some books as it gets rolling. I think we got one more lineup. We get maybe one more group of lineups in here with Kansas City and Tampa Bay here right now. I'll take a peek here at this one. This one might be the last one that we'll actually get the lineups in. For Kansas City, it's going to be India, Witt, Pasquantino, Perez, Garcia, and Massey.
Steam playing.
Canna, Vermeen, and Waters. For Tampa Bay, Chandler Simpson, Diaz, Lowe, Aranda, Caminero, Meisner, and Jankowski, Caballero, and Rortvet getting the start at catcher. All right. Texas and the Angels here with Casey Mize going up against UC Kikuchi. For Mize here, he comes in with a 2.12 ERA. Mize has looked good for sure. He's 0-5 to the under so far this season. 4-1 record. When he's been at four, he's 4-1. 1.04 whip, 216 batting average against, and 233 BABIP for Kikuchi. He's 0-4 with a 4.31 ERA, 3.11 the BABIP coming in. The Angels are 1-5 with Kikuchi on the mound here, but the Angels at home, they're definitely a little bit better here than on the road. It's just a losing streak right now that you're worried about with these Angels struggling. They are 5-4 at home. It's been unfortunate. They've started out on the road for the most part. They're 7-13 on the road. So as much as they were kind of looking good early, they're playing on the road a little bit. Maybe the Angels still are okay here. I want to say okay. They're going to be bad. We know that. But right now, the Tigers are 19-12. The Angels are 12-17. Still looks like a bit of a cheap price here at $1.20 or so on the road for a Detroit team that there's no doubt they're playing absolutely terrific, especially as a favorite. They're 11-3 as a favorite overall coming into this game. They're up 6.25 units so far. The Angels are already down 5 units this season. The Tigers are averaging a full run better on the offense than the Angels. Coming in, the Angels are allowing 5 runs per game. Now, the Angels are 3-5-1 to the under in those home games so far, and talk about Detroit's success as a favorite. They're 4-9-1 to the under as a favorite, so they get good pitching. Let's see how you have it here. I know it sounds easy to be on Detroit. I kind of want to exercise caution. I'm sure Detroit is, a deserved favorite here. Angels have lost 5 straight, but Detroit, even if you look at it, they are 1-4 in their last 5 games on the road. This is the first game of the series. They did lose 2 of 3 against the Astros. Now the Astros are starting to pick up the pace a little bit, we know, but at least the Detroit won 7-4 in yesterday's game. So let's see how you have it. These two teams have gone over in 11 of the last 15 games here in the Big A, but 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Angels have gone under in 5 of their last 7 here at home. Let's go to the chat right now with Detroit and the Angels here. And see what you got tonight. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time tonight. And we're going with Trevor says, I think the Angels are the sharp side here in this one. Luis is on the Tigers. NYC Bar on the Angels. Cash Kane. Tigers first 5. Billy Eagle Flyer. Tigers. 9 Legacy. Tigers run line. Jerry says, Ramon, take a look at that BVP. You got to like the Tigers against UC Kikuchi in this one. Well, I will take a look at it and see what some of these numbers say with these two going against Kikuchi. You've got
Sixth to play.
Torkelson with a home run. Torres with a home run against him. You got Ibanez, 2 for 5. Hopefully I have those right. And there, 9 Legacy with the Angels will get waxed. Angels to get waxed today for sure. All right. I think that's it for you guys in that one. Widely reported steam did come in on the over in this one. It's up to 8.5 over right now. Feels like the Tigers were almost a consensus play from you guys in the chat. I'm going to go with the Tigers here. I'm going to roll with you guys and figure Detroit just keeps this one rolling. All right, one last game here right now, and the Rockies will be taking on the Giants. And the Rockies, man, it's got to be a hangover for the Rockies going here after the win yesterday. You got to figure those guys. The fans swarmed the field. They rushed the field. The Rockies were celebrating with a champagne in the locker room. They even had to put up the plastic yesterday for the Rockies with that big win. So I'm kidding. Rockies come in 5-25 right now. Verlander comes in 0-2 with a 4.7 ERA. Kyle Freeland doing Kyle Freeland things already. 0-4 with a 5.93 ERA. Coming into this one, Colorado's lost just 10 straight on the road so far this season. They've lost 5 straight against the Giants, and they were on an 8-game losing streak before yesterday's win. But Giants have won 10 straight games here at home against these guys. And we see Cerundolo here with the win just moments ago, wrapping it up over Jakub Mensik. Look, Jakub Mensik will be, believe me, we're going to have plenty of Jakub Mensik in our future for the young up-and-coming star, but Cerundolo on the clay here. Yeah, Mensik's a good clay player too, but Cerundolo wears him down for sure. 3-6, 7-6, 6-2 in the end for Cerundolo today. All right, 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Colorado's gone under in 5 straight. Giants have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games at home. Right now, Colorado 7-19-1 to the under as a dog here. Got to look at the run line, of course, with Verlander at 230 right now. Boy, it's going to be a good match with Cerundolo and Rude. You're going to give Cerundolo a chance there a little bit. Okay, for Verlander here, he's up to about 250 even right now, 7.5 under 20. So Giants on the run line so far this season, they are just 7-11 as a run line favorite, but the Rockies are 9-18 as a run line dog, including 4-11 as a run line dog on the road here. So just doesn't feel like the best matchup. And you do have Verlander trying to get on track a little bit. So far in 6 starts, he's 0-2 with an ERA of 5. Numbers aren't great, but probably better than Freeland here, who's 0-4. And the Colorado Rockies, of course, lost all 6 of his starts. He's got an ERA close to 6 right now. So I'll just try the Giants to blow him out here. Give me the run line. I got a lot of chalk in baseball, it feels like here. Remember, I went back to the chalk yesterday a little bit and did a little better. So maybe I'm a little bit swayed. I'll get chalky here on a Thursday. Giants. Hello to San Francisco Niner. I got to like that. San Francisco Niner in there. Giants money line. We do miss, some of our 49er fans, if you know what I mean. Here's NYC VAR. Giants and lean to the over. Giants run line for Jerry. Verlander to get those strikeouts. Here's Giants money line for Cash Kane. Giants probably a consensus play here. And even Tex says, got to get going there. Hello to Spoons today. We could have used Spoons here showing up. And good morning to Sports Money in the chat. The show's over. That's it. That's it, Sports Money. That's it, I believe, for the show. Unless you guys need to hit up anything else, I'll be sending out some package today. I think I might even have a little bit of soccer here. Just one note coming in. I think we have maybe an injury note to mention. Okay. Gage Workman hits the disabled list for the White Sox today. We don't quite have the lineup there yet for Milwaukee and the White Sox, but at least we're getting the umpire assignments here on the opening day of some of these series and these wrap-up series here a little bit. And Sports Money, you know what? Sports Money, we don't even have any consensus plays without Thomas. No one rounded up any of the consensus. We're going to run the contest, but I don't know what the consensus plays are. Oh, it's the Minnesota Twins. I think that might be the only one we have. So it's going to be, but you know what? Hey, we might get 300 views with all your great work to help me. I told Mikey, I said, my views are down. Is it because of my picks? He said, I'll fix it. Add the under in the Mets game. But I think that one was a pretty popular play there. And I think I agree with that one, too. If Sports Money says it, I'm doing it. He's the boss. And so we got to have at least a two-teamer. But I told Mikey Money, I said, you know what? We're getting a little stagnant here. Okay, Nasty Nate said blue. Yeah, okay, Nate, I'll do it. I'll do it. Go against your. It was 4-1 in that one. Technically, that is, kind of qualifies. And if Nate is willing to say, hey, even though he was on his Sox, of course, but go with Toronto there, Tampa Bay. Now we're up to a 4-teamer here. I don't know if NYC Bar says Tampa Bay Rays also, and I didn't know if I agreed with that one. I want to give the Royals maybe a chance in that game at that big prize. Luis went with the Giants run line in this last game, and that might have been he might be saying that Giants run line were a consensus. No, Sports Money. He still went with no, he can't back out on it. Rays smash. Jay smash, Ray smash. Nate is being, honest with us in the chat. He, of course, went with his Sox, but the Blue Jays maybe were a consensus play. It was at least 4-1. There may have even been a fifth one in there that said, maybe I like the Jays or Jay should, something like that. Nate, of course, going with his Red Sox. All right. Now that's going to do it, though, for the show. Let's get the drawing going and get out of here. Should be great day of sports and sports betting. And while Sports Money's here, let me make sure I do all the proper promotions because we have a big weekend in store here on the Sports Money Network. And here we go. Going to talk about it right now with our coverage here. I just want to mention, because we're getting ready, there is also some PFL fighting here tonight. Not sure. We're having a little bit of, I know, technical issues right now with our buddy. And we love you, Razor, and everything you've done, sacrificing your time and your attention to your channel. And I saw the note that you made on social media. I'm hoping we can get together tonight, one way or the other. There is PFL. I imagine that we will probably have our Thursday night show. Maybe Mike, you can tell me, though, in the chat, because there is PFL action tonight, an impressive card here, actually. So maybe as part of our Thursday night coverage, maybe we won't have the joint coverage going on, but with the PFL card here tonight and the UFC on Saturday. Let me start to promote that a little bit. We do have our shows available here, including BB MMA picks, as we previewed the card here. 3 fights with our special guest this week. It was Colin Crandall, a great MMA journalist. You've probably seen, he has interviewed many fighters online every week. You can see his interviews there a little bit. And you got Sandhagen and Figueiredo. I believe he's probably hooked up with at least, I think he's had Corey before as one of his guests, but a great bantamweight bout, top 5 contenders, even though Sandhagen, big favorite in the main event this week. He's up to 550 here in this one. A lot of people thinking Figgy had it here in his career, but still 2 top 5 contender, number 4 and number 5 contender, despite the fact that Figgy is a huge underdog. And of course, the other one I mentioned, Bo Nickel, who is a 350 favorite against Rainer de Ritter. RDR has been a good, impressive guy so far, 2-0 in the octagon. We saw him come in from the Contender Series as well. Remember, Nickel on the Contender Series twice. They brought in this guy along with kid gloves. Now they're kind of sending him in here against a guy with kind of nothing to lose, right? He was 19-0 before he came to the, or 17-2 before he came to the UFC. Beat Kevin Holland impressively. So we'll see about Bo Nickel. Obviously, elite wrestling skills, but just seems interesting here that after Bo Nickel was, more than a dime favorite in all of his fights, and now all of a sudden he gets in here against Rainer de Ritter, de Ritter actually getting the, marquee of the 2 guys in the fight by the UFC. He is the 13th ranked contender. Bo Nickel still remains non-ranked. Actually, here you'd think they'd pay your man a little bit of respect and put him up ahead of some of these guys. I know that the rankings are just what the UFC does for promotional, but they don't have Bo Nickel even in their top 15. I just thought that was interesting. Okay, so catch First Strike as well. The guys have their plays out. We did also have the golf preview this week. Man, I'm looking hot today so far with some of these names. Jaeger, Valmaki. These guys are already 4 under. I have both of them on my card. I've got, Rico Hoey, the Filipino. I've got him on my list today. I'm rolling here with some of these names so far at the CJ Cup. See if I can keep it up here this week. Also, we do have our NRL coverage as we get underway. I think tomorrow night, though, is might be tonight, meaning tomorrow night in the NRL. But hey, just check out Dan and Smythe with their picks. They've been hot as well. There we go. We've got the info here, I believe. Thank you to Cash Kane. UFC doesn't make the ratings. Nate, you might be referring to some different rankings. I refer to the actual. He says they have nothing to do with it. I think I disagree with that one. You might be referring to the rankings that you might see on those popular, maybe the Tapology or whatever. But the UFC does publish their own set of rankings. You'll have to bring some more evidence to me on that one there. But you could see it clearly on their site. These are their rankings. So you tell me, you send me a note on how it really works, and I'll make a retraction. But there's no doubt the UFC publishes their own set of rankings right there on their website. They've clearly stated it before that they are there, those are their rankings. You can see they're different from the ones that you often see on sites like Tapology. So you're the expert, Nate. I'm just follow what I read and how I read it when it says to me. So you'll have to help me out on that one. All right. Well, I still disagree with you there, Nate. You'll have to maybe show me some text or something. Is there somebody that has explained it to me? Because from what I've seen before and how those rankings work on the site, I mean, it looks to me like the way they've described it before in the athlete rankings there, because after all, why would they not have their, who makes up pound for pound, for example? So, all right, let's go to the drawing here right now and take a look and see what we're going to do there. He might be referring to everyone's rankings there a little bit. Again, Send me all those bits. Send me the quotes. Send me the videos. All right, let's go to the drawing here right now and see what we got today. Hopefully, we're all in there with the picks. And now we got a whole level, right, of picks for the drawing. That makes me feel better. And we've got lots of commenters after all today. It worked out from you guys. All right, here we go. Hope I got all those promos in there. I'm trying to think of what else we have this week. Don't forget to look at the golf and all that. Let's just run the drawing. Here we go. AOD, James Parm, Flea Mathis, Patrick, Trevor, Nasty Nate, Sports Money, Jermaine, AOD, OCAPS, Luis, and Stop Geo has won again. Is this election interference? Does Stop Geo have the algorithm to our contest? Stop Geo keeps winning the contest every day. And he does, maybe he does stick around and listen, but good job, Stop Geo. As long as he comes around, says hello, I'm happy with that. Thank you, Stop Geo, and thank you to everybody for a nice show. Really appreciate everyone's contributions here today on the show. And we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific with more morning steam for Friday. We'll wrap it up here with the gang. Like I said, not sure about the plans tonight. We may be having a little bit of, there is PFL. I know I'm doing a regular Thursday night show, but we're just having a little bit of, there's some issues I think I've heard about. So we'll see. I would imagine tonight, though, with that PFL card and those guys, maybe they will do it, but just not sure there right now. When it comes to I'm not going to apologize for, Nate. You might be, I'll apologize, whatever you want to apologize. I'm sorry for any grief that I've caused you. If you're looking for apologies, I'll just give you apologies all day. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried about that. If you want to make a stink about it, that's up to you. But again, for me, when you look at, hey, who is making the rankings, then if they're using somebody else's numbers, maybe they should correct it, because I don't know if you're paying attention to the odds on this. You are an MMA expert. You have a guy here that is unranked. Whoever's making the rankings has a 350 favorite. So who is making these rankings? Someone is not paying attention, or is Bo Nickel going to go out there and get beat, go by the rankings? So someone is not making sense here. You have a guy who's, some other ranking out there, right? Who is making these rankings, and why is a guy who is unranked in whatever rankings they use -3? The media? Do you think the media is the one that thinks that Bo Nickel is underrated right now? I mean, Bo Nickel, this guy was a -1,000 in the last 7 fights he's fought, or the last five fights he's fought. So that's for these guys. They're the experts. I'm the reporter here. And like I said, I mean, you got a guy here, a 350 favorite, and, they've been hiding him a little bit, haven't they? They've been giving these guys cupcakes. He's been -1,000 for every fight that he's fought here so far. And now you're bringing him in against DeRitter. We saw him in Contender Series. I just think it's the most interesting fight. I think it's way more interesting than the actual main event with Sandhagen. Here's another one, a $5 favorite there a little bit. Well, then do it. I mean, you're Dana White. I mean, you know who they should put him in touch with? Ramon Scott. I think Ramon Scott has a real handle on this that maybe everyone else doesn't, including our expert here in the chat, Nasty Nate. I don't think you guys understand at all how this works. And you guys are supposed to be I'm the reporter. You guys are the MMA experts. So let me know about that, Nate. You're the man. You guys are the experts. I'm observing and reporting this information. So somebody's wrong out there, obviously. And if the UFC can't come up with their own rankings with all you can't sit 5 guys in a room and tell me that Bo Nickel should be ranked way higher in their own. Do your own. And why are you publishing somebody else's rankings? So that would be my challenge to them. You can make this go viral. Mikey can make it a short or whatever. The rankings on the UFC page, to me, they're official. And if you're going to publish them, you better stick by it. And if you're going to sit here and bury your guy that you've been coddling for 2.5 years, giving him cupcake matchups, and you don't even realize that you guys have a guy who is supposed to be, I would think, even in this middleweight division, uh, certainly should be higher if the way they're talking about Bo Nickel, right? All these years, oh, we all love Bo Nickel. Everybody gets all excited. And I think it's cool that it is in Des Moines, Iowa, wrestling capital, wrestling capital here. And look, I mean, if they get it on the ground, obviously, but just seems interesting. Now, Bo's 29 years old and, poor Bo Nickel, I guess. All right. That's going to do it for the show. That was fun. Again, I mean, that's why these guys, on our Saturday night show, for example, we've got some tremendous experts on there here, and I'll be interested to see what the guys have to say too. Because it's gonna be a good card on Saturday night for sure. All right, I think we got it all in here for today. Want to appreciate everybody in the chat, and thank you all for a great show, and we'll be back tomorrow 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And I guess Mikey left. I don't think we have the information. I was hoping to hear from him tonight about what we're doing with that coverage, but just think we're going to be left a little bit short. So we'll just wrap up the show. Thank you, everybody. All right, for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
With sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to